Okay, is the speaker in the back on? That one, so that way that my... Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Do you fear the dark? Do you fear the light? Are you afraid of what you've seen? Are you afraid of what you can't see? On World Ghost Radio, the paranormal, the spirits, the unexplainable, with your host Rocky on World Ghost Radio.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? We're here live right now on World Ghost Radio. I am your host Rocky with my co-host Kim. How are you doing today, Kim?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I know you were sick last week.
Yes.
You sounded horrible.
Yes. I guess you got a little bit of it now, right?
Yeah. Oh, is that me on my?
Oh wait.
Oh, that's Kim. Kim got
Sorry.
All the way up over there. So today's
It was the
guest-
traffic it put us behind.
It's horrible. I'm telling you, the traffic over here was horrible. Today's guest is the Purdy's. They are running right now a new show over at Binion's called Talking Paranormal. How's everyone doing?
Good.
You guys doing good?
Yeah.
I see you guys staying busy over over at Binion's. How's that going along?
Going well. It's a lot of work, and it doesn't start off with the pain. You gotta work at it. So yeah, but it's going well.
That's good. I can't hear my headphones.
Well, adjust them. You've got the thing over there.
Oh, where's it's over here?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So these ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I can. Oh, wow, that's loud. Okay. All right. So we're here live right now. If you guys have any questions for the Purdy's, they're running Talking Paranormal down over at Binion's. It's a new show that they have along with the Ghost Hunt. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. So, but before...
Yeah, actually, two ghost hunts.
Oh, what was that?
We have two ghost hunts, one at 8:30 and one at 10:30.
Okay, so they
For
got...
the rest of the month.
They got two ghost hunts, one at 8:30, and the other was at
10:30.
10:30. I know. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get all situated here. I had to run into the studio because it was just horrible.
Yeah, bumper music going.
This new time is crazy.
Yeah. So before talking paranormal, I actually met the Purdy's down over in Goldfield, and I remember I met you and Susan Slaughter was there, I think, that day, and I was barely starting using the box, and we got some amazing results in the basement over at that Cook's building. So what got you guys into investigating and the whole paranormal?
Wow. Honestly, it was, we've always been interested.
Mm-hmm.
I had stuff when I was a teenager happen when I was growing up, and Linda.
I grew up in a haunted house,
Oh.
which looked like the Amityville Horror house.
Yeah, so we both born and raised in New Mexico, Albuquerque, and back then there was no internet. There were tabloid magazines and stuff, at the local dime store. So there wasn't a lot of research.
I was gonna. Around what year was this? Around what year did this all start?
Well, for me, it was probably
Well, in the 70s,
yeah,
right?
early 70s.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're dating us, so be careful.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves. There was no internet, so there was, there were no TV shows. There were, if you had an experience, you just kept it to yourself, and you just dealt with it. And as we got older, you kind of just learn to ignore. And when David was born, he's 27, going to be 28. And when he was born, he and his sister, when he was about 5 or 6, they ventured into a sub-basement in our home, which we really didn't even know. We just moved there. We didn't even know we had it. And they opened up this door in the floor and went underneath it. And ever since then, we started having activity in our house. Dave would see things, and he'd tell us, and we're like, well, okay, whatever.
And then that's when Ghost Hunters started.
So everything was fine. Like everything was, it was a great, the house was okay. Everything was normal. And then you guys opened up something from the basement, and then all this activity started.
Right.
Okay.
And then
David was attracted to David.
Yeah, was attracted to David because David started having conversations in his bedroom, like kids do, but it was a little bit deeper, the conversation. So my dad would always make the comment, he's having a full-blown conversation back there with nobody. And, we're like, oh, okay, whatever, we kind of blew it off. And then shortly after that, he started having night terrors. So he would wake up at midnight every night, and he would be frantically looking for something. And he would tell us, they're telling me to find this, they're telling me to find this. And he'd be looking under the bed, in his toy box, and we're like, we were all confused. So we took him to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, he's probably eating too much sugar or a high fatty diet, so he can't burn off the energy before he goes to bed. So his mind is still very active. And we were kind of looked at each other like, Linda doesn't cook high fat foods. We always eat pretty good. And Dave to this day doesn't eat sweets. He never has.
Right.
So we kind of ruled that out and said, there's got to be something else. So we started, at that time...
AOL came out.
AOL, yeah, and dial-up. And we started researching online, and we came across a psychic, and I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah.
But she was talking about how children are more open to paranormal activity. So, you can often find them talking to doorknobs. And we're like, Dave does it all the time. And we thought it was just his reflection in the shiny surface. And she says their doors and windows represent, in our world, the same they represent in the spirit world, which is doors, doorways, and windows, ways that they can come and go. So we started leaning more into that realm. And then, of course, various places on Earth came on, and most haunted.
Ghost Hunters. So then that's where, like, oh,
the
wow.
interest in the spirit world kind of got charged there, and we started doing more and more research. My job recruited me to Vegas about 13 years ago, and Lynn and I came out here, and in 2008 we decided to go all out and create Elite Vegas Paranormal Society, which is what we've been doing ever since.
Yeah, that's since 2008. Wow,
Yeah.
that's that's a long time.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, we've seen a lot.
So, what would you say is your scariest experience that you've had?
I don't know that we have a scary
We have
experience.
awesome experiences.
Yeah, I mean, we've never really, we've had things that,
Get you, but nothing that has.
yeah. I mean,
And maybe they have, and now we just don't think about it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I can tell you, one of the most fascinating experiences that we had was at Bonnie Springs a few years ago when we used to do the ghost hunts out there. It was me, Brian, David, and Joe, and we had 2 school teachers there, and we were in the Wax Museum, and they were kind of up front, and I was in the background, and I sat down on the bench. So,
and these benches are like 12 feet long. They're heavy wood. There's 2 of them, or there were 2 of them. So, yeah.
and I'm sitting on there, and then all of a sudden Brian's flashlight starts just flashing.
Strobing.
Yeah, strobing, like really fast.
And I didn't hit it or touch it or anything. I was just holding it.
And then the ghost box just went really crazy, like so fast.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you could hear walking, and then the bench moved. I kid you not. I used to hear people go, "Oh yeah, the bed moved or this moved," you know, and I was on it, and I was always so skeptical about it. And then when the bench literally moved me, Dave and Brian turned around. They're like, "What was that?"
We hit it when it moved because they had old wood floors, so it skipped a little bit, and it almost sounded like a growl. So Joe and I thought that something was growling behind us.
And then Dave heard the talking, and then
There was talking down a hallway, and then a rock was thrown. It was like within just a couple of seconds, actually.
Yeah.
And
then it stopped.
yeah, and we were, of course, like grabbing equipment and going, you know, we were like all excited about it. And our poor guests were like going, you know, it's pretty bad when the professional ghost hunters are the ones that are freaking out. And we were like, we wanted to know what it was.
We were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome! What happened?" And they were just like,
They were freaked out.
We kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, they kind of went to the background, and we were busy trying to debunk and figure out what it was that was going on. And
that was one of the fascinating experiences we had.
yeah, and one of the most troublesome, or maybe not troublesome, but kind of the experience that kind of really touches home for me is when, again, up at Bonnie Springs, we had just finished the 2013 Paracon, and one of my teammates called and said, "I have family members in town, you know, can we do an impromptu hunt? I want to show them what we do." And we were exhausted, but we said, "Yeah, we'll go up there and do it." So we had the Aussies in town for the Paracon. They said, "Hey, can we join you?" And we said, "Yeah, come on up." So we were in the Opera House, and our son David brought his camera, so he was filming everything. And all of a sudden I started having a pain in my back, a really sharp, like a hot poker in my lower back while I was sitting there. And, you know, I grabbed my back, and Dave, I stood up, and Dave goes, "Hey, Dad, you okay?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And he says, "You need to get out." And Kelly told me, "You need to get out." Because he thought, right away, they thought spiritual.
Right.
I didn't. I thought my back was just hurting. I didn't think anything of it. But I went outside because I didn't want to be, you know, anybody making over me or whatever because my back was hurting. So Joe escorted me out, and we stood on the wraparound porch, which sits about 8 feet above, you know, the plateau out there where they have the picnic tables. And as soon as I walked out, I started to feel better. So I thought, that's really weird. So the next thing I know, I'm having this internal dialogue where I'm going, "Wow, the mountains are beautiful. The houses are beautiful. The trees are so pretty." And I'm actually talking to myself saying, "What the hell are you talking about? You guys have been up here for 5 years, and now all of a sudden the buildings are beautiful, the mountains are beautiful." The sun was just setting, so they were a really brilliant kind of orange color. And I was having this dialogue, and the next thing I know, it's pitch black. I don't even know what time it was, but I'm sitting at those picnic tables. I'm soaking wet around my neck. I have all these crosses. You know, people put their crucifixes on, you know, their medallions on me.
Yeah.
And everybody was standing around me, and Linda's in my face, you know, talking to me. And I'm like, I'm trying to just back up a little bit. And I go, "What's going on?" And Dave comes over and he says, "Dad, we found you after you left the Opera House. We found you 20 minutes later sitting in the saloon in the dark, facing a wall, just staring at the wall."
What?
And I told him, I said, "I was not in the saloon." He goes, "Yes, you were." I said, "No, I wasn't. I would remember that." He pulls the camera out, flips the monitor, hits play, and he goes, "That's how I found you." And I'm looking at me, and I don't even remember this taking place. So the water that was around on my neck was because one of the team members we have is a nurse, and she was checking me. They were trying to cool me down. They thought maybe I was having a stroke. And I said, "Look, I'm old, but I ain't that old."
Yeah.
And apparently, you know, everybody was talking to me, and I was giving these really short answers. I wasn't blinking. I was just staring off. And they moved me outside where it was a little bit cooler and had sat me down there and, you know, were trying to get me to kind of snap out of it. And, they said it was about 20 minutes long.
No, it was 41 minutes long. I
Oh.
know that.
but I have no recollection of it. But one of the psychics from the Aussie team said that she was picking up a older female that had what we call jumped, not possessed, but jumped me.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were tired, we were exhausted, we weren't protected with any of our, normally I wear St. Christopher or St. Michael's, which I wasn't wearing. We were just susceptible to that kind of a takeover. So she said that if Linda wasn't so scared and worried about me, she would have continued the conversation to find out exactly who it was and what they were doing. But she got the impression that it was an older female. She was just trying to look at her surroundings. She never got who it was or anything like that. But yeah, that was one of the most, it's just one of those times when you go, wow, this is real. The possibility, the things that they can do, they're real. So that was probably one of the best for me personally.
So that's how did that have an impact on, like, after your investigations? Did you guys like stop after that, or did you continue to investigate after that? Like, did you take a break, or was it still continuous?
We continued. As a matter of fact, and when we were on Ghost Adventures for that episode, actually it was Aftershock.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Zach, I said, everything I've seen on TV and stuff, they always talk about how they're drained afterward.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I had so much energy. I was pumped. I was like ready to go. And it was very different. And, his thought was that, they can give energy as much as they take it. And this was I don't think it was an evil spirit at all. I think it was very.
Felt good.
I felt great. I felt like somebody had given me caffeine, because I was wide awake. I was ready to go. But yeah, we continued the rest of the night on that investigation.
And then, well, I'm sorry, my headphones are acting weird. Yeah, my equipment is acting weird right now. It's weird. You're freezing. Well, you're freezing. I thought I fixed all that. It's funny. Man. So how long were you down over at Good Springs for? Like, how long did you do that? Like, investigate out there? Yeah, I'm sorry, Bonnie Springs. Yeah, so many springs around here in Nevada.
Yeah, there are. No, we did that for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
we loved it, man. It was a lot of fun.
And then Goldfield, how did you discover Goldfield?
Wow.
Well, one, we of course Ghost Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So then when we moved out here, we were so excited that we took a trip over there. It was we took a trip. We went over there, and then we met another paranormal team. They're no longer here, but they were doing some stuff out there, and I think we met a couple people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know, yeah. And then we decided to do the ghost hunt at the high school. And then we took our friends out there, and they got involved in Goldfield.
Yeah, they fell in love with it,
Yeah.
and they ended up buying the John S. Cook Bank building.
And that's how it evolved.
Yeah, I remember. It's funny you should mention the Goldfield High School.
Yeah.
When you.
That's when we first met you.
Yeah. You told me to go into that shower room, and I remember I picked up some stuff, and then this last trip we got some amazing evidence in that location. It's insane.
Yeah, that's a great location.
Love the high school. It's
yeah,
so beautiful.
Yeah, it has some crazy energy in there.
Yeah.
Man.
It does.
So where do you? Okay, so how long are you guys still doing the Good Springs Goldfield every year still, or?
Yeah, we go. Well, we haven't this past year. We didn't do any ghost hunts or anything. We were just there helping our friends, that own the building. We always help them and open the building up. But we're not sure what we're going to be doing this coming Fulfill Days.
Yeah, because we have, now that we've signed contracts and stuff to do long-term shows at Binions, with Talking Paranormal and Ghost Hunts. So we're going to be doing that once every month. And, with our work schedule and doing that, it's just,
That's a lot.
You have to do research. It's a lot. So
That's a lot.
We'll see what happens when August rolls around, how we're feeling about it. It seems like every year it gets less and less. As the people that were really involved, Elite Trading Post, Malik and Jody, moved to Yerington, slowly the major players that were really interested in doing these kinds of events kind of moved away to other smaller towns. And it's kind of, for us, it's kind of lost its allure. They closed Goldfield Hotel down again, which is an on again, off again thing. It's run its course. Let's put it that way. We've done as much as we think we can do up there, and it's time to move on to something bigger and better. Kelly and Carolyn still own the Jonas Cook, so that's always going to be, a part of our world. But we haven't really decided what we're going to do. And right now, it's day by day. We've been doing 4 hunts. We got 4 hunts scheduled this month at Binions, and actually 8 hunts.
Yeah.
4 shows.
Yes.
So yeah, we're running on empty right now.
Pamela, you win a prize. You're the first one. Still got 9 to go. So.
What's that?
Oh, I was offering prizes for this show, and
nice.
if you get you type it in, you get a prize. Kim, you had a question?
I do have a question. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
So, did you say you were doing Paracons before?
I'm sorry, barely can hear
Barely
you.
hear you.
Did you say you were doing Paracons?
Yeah, they
Not
used
a
to do the Paracons at the EVPS over at Goldfield. That's how I met them.
Are you still going to do
Yeah,
that?
we
'Cause
used to do the Las Vegas Paracon, but
Oh.
we stopped that in 2015.
No, we did 2012 and 2013.
what
then
happened? Why
2014
why'd
was-
you guys stop doing that?
Because they're doing the Talking Paranormal.
We stopped doing the Paracon because it was costing us $30,000 of our own money,
Oh.
and
Expensive to bring out.
we were bringing out 20 celebrities, and which was great, but it just for whatever reason, there's a difference between East Coast and West Coast. The West Coast doesn't seem to support, local teams as much, whereas back East they're more unified. So, we tried to get people to come out and be a part of it, and it just wasn't working for us. And, we just got tired of spending the money and putting in, because it takes a year. It was taking us, when we wrapped it up in August, in November, we began again, starting to plan for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
It's a lot of work.
a lot of work, it's a lot of money, and it just wasn't worth it anymore. We just said, let's
do you
quit.
do you
We tried it
find
a couple times to do a smaller version at Goldfield, and it was just so far away, people, didn't attract a lot of people.
Do you find that there's not as many places to investigate in Las Vegas, that the people here, the business owners, aren't willing?
Yeah.
I wonder
I
why.
agree with that.
Why do you
What's
think
that?
that is?
Well, I mean, we get asked all the time, you're in Vegas, why aren't you checking out the Aria? Why aren't you checking out the old, valleys where MGM burned down? The problem is that these are active working hotels. It's not like they're abandoned. And
then some owners just don't want
they don't want the allure.
the allure or the people coming in and getting access to.
Yeah, Talking Paranormal, that's been in the works since 2011. We talked to Binions when we first started getting in there and doing hunts there that, they had such an amazing energy there and a massive area of space that people could actually go. But they had foreign ownership. And foreign ownership means that they're more superstitious. So they felt it was bad for business to talk about ghosts and stuff. So what happened in November was the contracts with Binion's and their foreign ownership ran out, and they didn't re-sign with them. They said, we're going to go it alone, and they decided to renovate the Apache Hotel, which is very active, and advertise it as a haunted boutique hotel, reopened 81 rooms, which they've done. It's operating now. And they called us and said, hey, remember that idea you had? Would you still be interested? And we're like, of course.
Yeah.
So, another year, that was November of last year. And it was a year for me to develop the set and exactly what the show was going to be before we ever got it. And a lot of red tape, because now you're doing a show inside a casino. So we have to get certain licenses, certain insurances. It was a lot.
Go get
of
your
work,
sheriff card and all this other
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is an easier way to kind of connect people here in Vegas, and we did it. The premise of the show is actually, I don't know if you know what the Actors Studio is.
No, I don't.
Okay, so look it up. It's actually pretty cool, and it's something that's been done for a long time, where the moderator brings on actors, very big actors, and in front of a acting class, acting school.
Oh,
And they
okay.
basically, these people in the audience get to ask these prominent actors, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, people like that, about their craft. So they get to ask these really important questions, that help them along their way. How'd you get started? And they talk about how they got started and their pitfalls and their rejections and all that stuff. And we thought we should do something like this for the paranormal, because there's a lot of people out there with, we always say everybody has a story.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's do this and bring people out and that have experiences that can share it with people.
And then the audience can ask questions
yeah.
and share their stories.
Correct.
Man, that's awesome. I got to come by there and I got to check it out. Come check out that what you guys are
Do,
doing.
and we'd love to have you on as one of our guests.
Let me know when. Let me know when. I'll bring my.
We'll do it. We created this. You were on the list, so.
Oh, awesome! Hell yeah! I'll come out there. I'll bring a spirit box. See what
There you go.
see what we can get.
So is it a walking tour, or what kind of ghost hunt is it?
It's actually a
A
ghost hunt. So we take, depending on how many, we usually split up, because we've been getting, this last month I think we had about 25 people. So we split them up into two groups. We have, in the hotel tower, the old mid tower, we have all of floor 18 and all of floor 14.
Which is 13.
Which is actually floor 13. And 18 is where Ghost Adventures caught the apparition of the leg.
Yeah.
On their show. So we have those two floors, and then we have the 400 room, which wasn't on the original blueprint, and also the secret room in the back behind that to investigate.
Also where Ghost Adventures went.
Right. So
Is it in the dark?
bring your
Is it
equipment,
completely
you can
dark?
use our equipment, whatever, but we take them and we do a ghost hunt.
Mm-hmm.
We do ghost box and
90 minutes long.
Is it completely in the dark or is there light?
it's completely in the dark.
Completely in the
Okay.
dark.
Do people need to bring their own equipment?
No, you don't. We have equipment. We have K2s for people to use if they want. We listen to the ghost box. We have lasers and
Yeah.
EDIs and you name it. We've got it up there.
Have you
So
guys-
people can,
Have you guys captured anything like over there? Have any of the on these tours? What has there been any type of evidence captured yet?
yeah.
We've gotten activity, which we're actually surprised, because again, like when we're at Bonnie Springs, it takes time, because
Oh, yeah.
somebody it's kind of like,
They got to
they're
warm up to
scared,
you.
Yeah, they got to warm up to you, exactly. So we had Brandon Alvis from Ghost Hunters out last Saturday.
Shout out to Brandon
And
Alvarez.
he had REM pods, a few of our REM pods and some static pods up and down the entire hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually he was coaxing the spirits out of a back room, and they would light up in order all the way
Wow.
down.
Oh, but then a couple weeks ago, we had communication through the TV,
Yeah.
an old TV.
So these floors, they basically 10 years ago they locked the door and walked away. They
Yeah.
were going to renovate, and they decided not to because it was going to be so expensive. So they locked the doors. So all the beds, all the furniture, the TVs, the phones, everything is still in there for the most part. Linens are gone. So we actually had one of the TVs in the back room. You know, there's still power running to it. So we turned them on just for effect. So when people walked in, they'd be like, "Oh my God, the TV's on in here." And you say, "Well, we put it on just to kind of give a little bit of ambient light in this big room." And one of the guests, a couple of the guests, parked back there with their ghost box and started asking questions.
Mhm.
And the TV was
This white and this
it
on?
was just static. There's no channels on it or anything. And they started asking questions, and they noticed when they would get responses, the TV would flicker
And then I asked if it could flicker
twice.
and
If they
it
were,
did.
yeah,
on
if
the
you're making it do that, the TV flicker like that, can you do it twice? And it flickered twice. And then Linda says, "Okay, can you make it flicker 5 times in a row?" And then it flickered 5
Well, it
times
went
in a row.
3 times, I go, that's only 3, and
And
then
then 2 more real quick.
Man,
Yeah, we're getting
that's cool.
responses.
So you're just proving to me that you know they can manipulate
Yes,
the field. That's awesome.
yeah. Well, you knew that.
No,
know
but
you knew
it's
that.
cool. But like with the, I mean, to correlate that with with the TV to be able to, that's no,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Each time
That's
it did
awesome.
that, the K2 would spike simultaneously.
Shout
So
out
that
to
was a lot of
Tracy.
energy in that room.
Yeah, Tracy's on right now. He mentioned back. He had a question. I think it was something like it had to do with Bonnie Springs, where you guys. He thought that it was Tasso a shadow, and there was like no one there or something. A shadow.
Oh.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good one.
That was a good night too.
Yeah,
That was actually, we had a group in the
we were inside the museum, one of the museums.
and some of the group was up at the picnic tables, which is about 20 or 30 feet away, maybe further than that, maybe 50 feet. And we were inside, and we saw what seemed like a cowboy figure walking past the window on the outside.
And we heard
The
someone
footsteps.
walking, yeah.
So everybody goes, "Oh, there's somebody out there." We said, "Oh, it's just Joe,
Mhm.
Cowboy Joe, because he wears hat and stuff." And we just went back to doing our ghost hunt. After we finished, we went up to where the other people were hanging out at the picnic tables, and they said, they saw a shadowy figure down by the door in the window where we saw it. And we said, "Yeah, that was Joe." And they go, "Joe's been sitting right here." Joe was sitting right here. He goes, I've been here the whole time.
Oh man.
It wasn't Joe.
But we all saw
We
that
all saw it.
and heard.
2 different points of view, same apparition, which has been seen before. They see a cowboy up there all the time, or they used to.
I
I
remember.
have a question.
Go ahead.
Didn't they auction off some of that stuff out there from Bonnie Springs?
Yeah.
So did you guys
Sitting
get
on
any
my-
of that?
What's that?
Did you get any of that? Anything that they auctioned off from Bonnie Springs, and is it
We
haunted?
We did. On our stage, if you go on the Talking Paranormal page, you can actually look at some pictures of the stage that we have up there, and the little mannequin girl sitting in a desk which would be stage right from the audience. That was sitting in the schoolhouse for many, many years. So we got her, and because we used to get the spirit of a girl named Rebecca up there all the time, we named her Rebecca. So she sits up on stage with us.
Oh wow. A piece.
Yep, she's
A
there.
memorandum. Have you gotten any has there been like any activity like on the stage when you guys are doing your your show yet? Has anything like weird happened during the actual?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that we've done is within the area of the audience, where the audience sits,
Mhm.
we have 4 of
Haunted.
we call them haunted items, we have 4 items. One is from one is from Linda Vista, one is from Waverly Hills, one is from, where's the other one? Was one that was given to us by a local investigator, it's actually a mug that her grandmother, teacup, that her grandmother wanted to get rid of because it never stayed in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole story to that, which is pretty intriguing. And then we have what's called a clarinet doll, which is a little plastic, probably about 11 inches tall. It's a single-colored plastic molded doll, injection molded doll. That was one of the first mass-produced dolls in the world that was made for the pregnant women of Ghana, or Uganda. Uganda, sorry. And we found this sitting in a toy store on a high shelf, and Dave and I were kind of wandering down on Fremont Street, and we went into the toy shop.
Whoa. I was going to buy that doll. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Did you buy it
The
back
tan
in
one that's that?
Yeah, it was that'd be around 2015? And it was at the toy store over at the where the McDonald's is off of Fremont Street, in the back.
Yep, behind it.
You gotta do it before I did a week later.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah,
we went in there and I asked the guy, I said, can I ask you the story behind that doll up there? And he says, I don't know anything about it. He goes, give me $20 and it's yours. Get it out of here because it's freaking people out.
Wow.
That's the one I want.
Wow.
That's so much coincidence there. Wow.
Yeah,
I know exactly what doll that is. That is crazy.
I started to research it, which was not easy, and I finally found information on it, and it's actually, people collect them. It's a big collector thing. And
So we get activity there.
yeah, so what I was getting at, we have these in little glass cases all around the where the audience sits, and they're lit up, really cool, and then next to them, there's either a static pod or a REM pod. And literally, if you listen to, I posted a small thank you video, it's 30 seconds, for thanking Brandon Alves for coming out. And if you listen to that clip, you can hear the REM pods going off in the room. So while the audience is sitting there, these REM pods are either going back and forth.
And you're telling me that they were going in order, you would start from one end of the room, and then each REM pod would go off, if someone was walking past it, or
no, in there it's just going back and forth. It's random, but it's constant. They're just and REM pods are hard to get to go off.
Oh yeah.
They go through the whole show. As we're talking about spirits and stuff, they're just
through the show they go off here, but on the ghost hunt, Brandon was able to
get them as though somebody was walking down the hallway.
Nice.
In succession.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. We always worry when we take a group up there that it's going to be a dead night, and that happens. We tell them up front, look, sometimes when you go on a ghost hunt, a regular ghost hunt, you get nothing. It may take 2 or 3 times before you start getting any kind of activity, whether it be on the ghost box or, if you're doing EVPs or whatever.
Yeah.
It takes time. And we've been lucky because for most of our shows, we've actually had some really good interactions that, people were very impressed with. They're taking lots of pictures, and showing us, they get a lot of orbs and stuff like that. Of course, I don't get too excited about that, but they do.
The vital orbs. That's a whole.
Hey, do you want to do a shout out to our sponsors?
Shout out. I should shout out the sponsors right now. Shout out to Shadow Mafia Paranormal. Las Vegas Oddities. Wait, let me go back to Shadow. You threw me off guard, Kim. Shadow Mafia Paranormal. If you go on paranormalonair.com, click on Shadow Mafia, then it'll take you to their site. They got some great stuff. Also, Las Vegas Oddities. If you mention Rocky they'll give you 20% off. And our new sponsor is Paranologies. If you go to paranologies.com, code word on air, and they'll give you 15% off of their equipment. And they have the Poltercom, which I'm very impressed with.
Very nice.
Spirit Box and some other detection devices. So, you threw me in the middle of the.
I do
of the
have a
news.
question.
Go ahead.
I'm really interested about your Binion's ghost hunt. Are we allowed to videotape, and are people allowed to share what they catch, or what's your policy?
Yeah, you can videotape.
We tell people, first thing we tell them is put your phone on airplane mode so it doesn't interfere with the equipment, and take lots of pictures, videotape, whatever. If you have your own equipment, bring it.
The only thing that you, that Binion's request that you do not state anything as far as about the Binion.
Yeah, they're very guarded about the Binion's family. There's still members that are alive that are living in town, so they're very respectful to the Binion's family. So they don't like people saying that they communicated with the Binions or anything like that. And it's funny because that is some of the stuff that we pick up.
Well, is there anything that happened there that you're allowed to talk about, or should you wait for the tour, for the ghost hunt? Like, did people die there, or do you want to wait and keep it suspenseful?
You need to come out.
Yeah.
You need to come out and hunt.
You
And
come
guys,
check it out.
you let me know when Rocky comes out. Kim, if you want to come out, just come out. We'll comp you. Come out and
And have a,
come do the show and then do a hunt with us and see for yourself.
Okay, so you're open every Saturday then? No time off for
No.
holidays or?
well, this case, we have, right for October is the 26th and the 31st.
Right, we did four for October. We probably will do it next year as well because it's Halloween, so people are kind of in the mood for this. But once November hits, it's going to be the second Saturday, so the 9th is the first one in November.
It's the second Saturday of each month.
Right, because it's just a lot of work.
Shout out to Susie. You win a prize. So that's another one.
Yeah, feel free, Rocky. You want to give a pair of tickets away.
Yeah, we'll have
Just,
to put in
get
some
your
time and get in
name.
there.
And then just send it to us.
Send it to us, and we'll comp them for a show and a hunt.
No, definitely,
there.
definitely. We'll have to get down there. We're about to wrap it up. We're coming to the final end. Yeah, where could they get tickets and also your plugs of your websites and how they could contact you?
So the website is EliteVegasParanormalSociety.com. They can go to Talking Paranormal on Facebook, Elite Vegas Paranormal on Facebook. If they want to get tickets, they can go to the box office located on the first floor of Binion and purchase their tickets, or they can go to HTTPS.
Well, we have the link on our,
Yeah, they can get the link on the,
Oh, okay.
on our website.
Okay, so is Elite your
they go to the
team
website,
or?
they can get the link. They can pick the
Yeah.
show they want and then just buy tickets that way.
And you guys still have Elite Vegas Paranormal. It's still
Oh, yeah.
running today.
Okay,
Yeah, we still go do people's houses, and
Yeah.
if people call us out, we still go out, and yeah.
that's
We're
awesome.
Still functioning. We were just quiet for a while.
Okay,
Take a little break. Yeah, I know how that goes. Get a little rest in.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, and we'd love to have you back on, again in the future. And
Yeah.
I'll definitely get out there. I'll get out there and come out there.
And we'll talk more about the getting you out as one of our guests
Yeah, definitely.
for the show.
sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Any more questions? You good, Kim?
No, that's it. Yeah,
That's
that's
it?
great. It was
That's
nice.
it.
It was nice talking to you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
A lot of fun.
All right. Take care.
All right, good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was my computer moved. That was me probably. We
That
are
was a
still-
ghost.
I know, right? It was what we do. Yeah, it's awesome to have them on. I've known the Purdy's for a while, and they are very reputable, very awesome people.
Well, I
and-
hope did we get some viewers? Any questions
Oh,
before we
got-
sign out?
We got a couple of people that won, so I'll be shooting you the prizes I'll probably be inboxing you, get your address, and I'll shoot the prizes out. It was just awesome for everyone that came on today, and once again, I want to thank my sponsors, Shadow Mafia Paranormal, Las Vegas Oddities, and our new sponsor, Paranologies.
We got another great guest coming on next week, so I hope everyone tunes in.
Next week, we will be having Sean Combs. I've known him for a while. He works as far as spirit communication. He recently got married to his wife, Nicole, and we'll be able, we'll have him on next week. Did you win a rock box? No, you didn't, Tracy. Tracy asked if I won a rock box. No, Tracy. It wasn't a rock box. I'll send you out something though. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Man, I'm all trying to talk. It's horrible.
Must be that jungle juice.
It must be that jungle juice. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Wednesday, new time, as usual, 6 p.m. PST. Be there if you dare. Take care,
All right.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.